Good morning all. Welcome to lecture 8 of unit 1. Today we are going to discuss about physical significance of psi, which is Bond's interpretation. So in the earlier classes we have discussed that what is psi. Psi gives the probability of finding the particle, and psi is the quantity that is varying in the case of matter waves. So using psi, Schrodinger has derived time independent wave equation. Today we are going to discuss about the meaning of psi. So the wave function psi is unable to give all possible information about the particle. Psi is a complex quantity and has no direct physical meaning. It is only a mathematical tool in order to represent the variable physical quantities in quantum mechanics. So Born suggested that the value of the wave function associated with a moving particle at the position coordinates in space and an instant of time t related in finding the particle at certain location and certain period of time. So psi gives the probability of finding the particle. This can be represented in two cases, like if particle is there, we can have the positive probability. If particle is in absence, we have negative probability. But we all know that negative probability is meaningless. That's why psi has no physical meaning, and psi is a complex quantity in the form of A plus IB. But in the place of psi, if we take mod of psi square, gives a definite meaning and is obtained by multiplying the complex number with its complex conjugate. So mod of psi square represents the probability density P of locating the particle at a place at a given instant of time. So now remember that psi has no physical meaning. That's why we are taking mod of psi square, which gives the probability density and is always a positive quantity. So as we said, so mod of psi square is nothing but psi into psi star. So psi is equal to A plus IB and psi star is equal to A minus IB. So the probability density P is equal to psi into psi star, which is equal to modulus of psi square. Now if I multiply A plus IB into A minus IB, I get A square plus B square. That's why mod of psi square is always a positive quantity. That's why instead of psi, we always take mod of psi square, which is called the probability density of the wave function. Now, in order to find the probability density in a given space, let us normalize this condition. So that normalization can be taken as if the particle is present and if the limitation is of minus infinity to plus infinity and mod of psi square in a given volume of dV. If the particle is there, we can take it as 1. And if the particle is not there, it is taken as 0. This is called as normalization condition. So mod of psi square is always a positive quantity and it has a physical meaning, whereas normal psi has no physical meaning. And next topic of today's class is Heisenberg uncertainty principle. So Heisenberg has suggested that the determination of exact position and momentum of a moving particle is impossible to measure simultaneously. So in general, if del x represents the error in measurement of position of a particle along x-axis and del p represents error in measurement of momentum, then Heisenberg uncertainty principle states that both the position and momentum cannot be measured simultaneously. So if position is known, there is a discrepancy in finding out the momentum for a fast moving particle. Similarly, if momentum is known, then we can't locate the position of the particle. Both quantities cannot be measured simultaneously. So now, according to classical mechanics, a moving particle at any instant has fixed position in space and definite momentum, which can be determined simultaneously with any desired accuracy. This assumption is true for the objects of appreciable size, but fails in particles of atomic dimensions. So Heisenberg uncertainty says that del x is del p is greater than or equal to h by 4 pi or h cut by 2. And we already know that h cut is equal to h by 2 pi. So the more accurately you know the position, the less accurately you know the momentum, or else vice versa. So position and momentum cannot be measured simultaneously. So in addition to the position and momentum, we can also find out the energy and time. There is also a uncertainty principle in finding out the energy and time simultaneously. So del E dot del T should be greater than or equal to h cut by 2. So since a moving particle has to be regarded as a de Broglie wave group, there is a limit to measure particle properties. According to Born probability interpretation, the particle may be found anywhere within the group moving with the group velocity. If the group is considered to be narrow like this, it is easy to locate its position, but momentum is in calculating its velocity and momentum, uncertainty will be there. And suppose if the group is wide, its momentum is estimated easily, but there is a great uncertainty about exact location of the particle. So if the group is wide, position cannot be determined, but momentum can be easily calculated. If the group is small, position can be calculated, but momentum cannot be calculated easily. That is what there is a uncertainty in measuring both position and momentum simultaneously for any moving particle. Now, the applications of Heisenberg uncertainty principle gave a wonderful proof that electrons cannot reside inside the nucleus. Similarly, protons cannot reside outside the nucleus. Similarly, the electron, when excited to the higher energy state, by using this uncertainty principle, it cannot stay for longer intervals of time. It has to de-excite after once its lifetime is over. So Heisenberg uncertainty gave so many proofs. Till then, they were only the assumptions. Thank you all.